Hey. Welcome back to another episode of the Flagrant Two with X and Lou, your favorite NBA media personalities. Um, you know, not the Stephen A's. We are the F2. I don't know. I ain't had nothing for that.
I don't
We,
know. I
we,
don't know
we
what
just
you
not Stephen A. We just not Stephen A. We
I
just
don't know. My hairline's starting to look like it. I don't know. I might be. Look. Have it on you.
You gotta do the figure test. Hey man, if you haven't already, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can be tuned into all of our newest episodes. And please like. It helps out with the algorithm. And also leave a comment. If we're wrong, tell us we're wrong. If we're right, champion us, man.
Yeah.
Game three did not
We
go
was
as
wrong.
he was very wrong. He was way well. Technically he was right because everything that we said that the Pacers needed, what Hallie needed to do, he did.
Yeah.
He got going early. You know, he got himself going early, so that way down the stretch, he could get his guys going, and that's exactly what happened. Miles Turner, terrific game, man, terrific game. He was bullying Chet.
Yeah, definitely in that fourth quarter. He definitely had a fantastic fourth quarter. You care less about everything he did in that first and third quarter because they was picking on him.
They was
quarter.
He turned
it's
up.
Championship season. This is when you turn into a champion. This is what you figure out.
Yep.
And we figured it out. Right. And they were champions. It came out and showed us they were the best team last night.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Hallie for this is their key to winning. Their key to winning is limiting Shea from getting to the line, limiting his offensive output, and making sure that you get the other guys to beat you. Because Jalen Williams had a good game.
Yeah.
Chet was shaky, but he was still solid. But you need the other guys to step up. You need the Carusos, the Wiggins. You need these guys. When Shea can't get it going, these guys got to step up. The Hartensteins, they got to hit their shots. Because if your superstar is not getting to the line like he usually does, he's not hitting his shots, you guys got to make sure y'all hit y'all shots. Y'all got to carry him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let him get into a rhythm, but y'all got to hit, man. So I think it was a tale of two games. It was a tale of two tales. You know what I'm saying? Everything that the Pacers did wrong in game 2, they did right in game 3. And everything that the Thunder did right in game 2, the Thunder did wrong in game 3. So it was tale of two games. What are your thoughts coming into tonight?
First thing first, Shea. Talking directly to you. I know you're out there giving it your best effort. You're doing what you got to do. You're trying to get there. Indiana has turned up into a better defense in this playoffs than they ever been. I'll give it to them. So I'll give it to you. It's tough out there. But you're like 26 years old, Shea. I know you're tired out there. It's a long game. Basketball is tough. But you're still young. I don't want to see you with your hands on your knees. Like you on a dance, like you were wrong side of the dance video. That's supposed to be the girls with the hands on their knees. You know, get like me. That's not supposed to be you. You're young, bro. This is your chance to win it. Y'all had your chance last year, and it's like, all right, we call that a growth year. You're supposed to lose. This year, everybody's rooting for you. You think Indiana's supposed to be the team to win? Everybody's saying it's OKC. That's what was going in. And right now, it's looking like Indiana is the better team. Are they the best team? No, but they're playing as the better team.
They are.
So I need you to get it together. And yes, of course, the rest of your cast has to get right and take some of this pressure off of you. But guess what? This is what I've been doing all year. I got 60-something wins doing this style all year. So I need you to complete the mission.
On the flip side of that, Indiana, keep doing what you're doing. You're getting your bench involved. You're getting quality minutes out of your bench. I mean, look at this. Obi Toppin, 28 minutes. 8.6 rebounds, 1 assist. That's coming off the bench. That's what you need coming off the bench. Guess who else came off the bench? Benedict Mathurin. 22 minutes, he scored 27 points, had 4 rebounds, and another assist, along with a block. That's,
bro.
my opinion, that's 22 minutes is starter minutes.
I gotta say it here. I know you're not ever gonna hear it anywhere else because on mainstream media they can't do it. But Benedict Mathurin went to Big Dick Mathurin last night because he dropped his balls.
Dropped his balls. You know they can't say that on ESPN, but we gonna say it for you.
We can say it. We can say it for you. In 20-something minutes, you got 27 points. They even 30 points in 20 minutes from a guy off the bench. This was the third leading scorer going into the playoffs with this team. The end of the season, the third best scorer. And last series against the Knicks, we barely saw him.
And not until games 4 and 5.
We barely saw him.
Yep.
And now he's coming out with such an impact. Him, Naismith, what is
Nemhard.
it? Nemhard, that's the guy I was really trying to say. Him and Nemhard playing fantastic defense on Shea.
Yep, fantastic.
Got Shea locked up. Come on, the coach penciled Shea in. He said, "Oh well, he's gonna do that. He's gonna get 30 points." Yep. And then what he do? Go ahead and adjust the defense. Say, you know what? If he's gonna get it, he's gonna make it hard on him. Yeah, I don't want him to get it. If he does, it's gonna be extremely hard on him. Guess what? They turned up. Those guys want to win. Now, tonight, we're gonna see who wants to win for real. Because this is the deciding factor of the series. You go down 3-1, you're kind of young. The last person to do it is LeBron James. But guess what? He was there mentally. He already learned how to win.
Mm-hmm.
He already learned how to win. How many of y'all are LeBron James? I'll wait.
There's not many.
None of y'all on that team are LeBron James.
The only one that was there was Caruso. Caruso got that blood.
Toughness.
Yep.
I got to see the mental toughness. If y'all do go down.
Also on the Pacers.
Go down tonight.
Also on the Pacers, shout out TJ McConnell. TJ McConnell in 15 minutes, 10 points, 1 rebound, 5 assists, and 5 steals. This is what you need out of your bench. This is what I'm talking about when your stars go to get their rest. Your bench either got to do one or two things. They got to play extremely well defense and keep you guys afloat until the starters get back in, or they got to be able to score a bucket and keep you guys either on pace or above it. This is exactly what the Pacers have done. They've shown it to you throughout the playoffs. We could say, Cleveland was injured. Okay, Cleveland's injured. Doesn't matter. They still playing their brand of basketball, and they still got past Cleveland. The Knicks. Knicks was at their best. Pacers played their brand of basketball, got past them. Right now, they're up 2-1 against arguably the best team in the NBA. Why? Because they're playing their brand of basketball and not allowing anybody to dictate what they're doing on the court. And this is extremely far-fetched for the Thunder, because the Thunder are a team that imposes their will. Where is the will that's being imposed? Because I didn't see it in game 3. I don't know if you did, X. I didn't see it in game 3. What I saw in game 3 was lackluster play from your star, which trickles down. Because if you get in lackluster play from your star, what are the role players supposed to do?
No, the role players are supposed to step up. But it's like you said, the Indiana Pacers and just what you got to be worried about, and what you got to look at them like, we were worried game 1 because it's like, the first 3 quarters, they ain't know what to do with this defense. It's like you said, each team is playing their brand of basketball. For the first 3 quarters of the series, OKC brand of basketball was out there. It was imposing their will. It was forcing the team to play a way that they weren't comfortable playing. But now, Indiana's playing the way they want to play. They're comfortable. They're adjusted to what you were doing. So now where's going to be these adjustments where you're going to force them to play a way that's just like, damn, all right, we adjusted. Now we're okay with the way you're playing.
Mm-hmm.
To damn, they adjusted even more, and now we gotta readjust.
It's
Because
crazy
the thing
because
about the Indiana Pacers, they're fantastic. They've been doing a lot more
yep,
handoffs. Halliburton been getting rid of the ball early, so he don't have that Lou Dort pressure. Running a
yep,
lot more handoffs. So guess what? Passing lanes. There's no passing lanes because now the ball is literally from hand to hand.
mm-hmm.
So now it eliminated what OKC does, which is a relentless defense mixed with tough shot making from Shea on the offensive side. Guess what? Now you don't have the relentless defense, and then the tough shot making from Shea is getting neutralized. And this is one thing I was saying early in the season when we were talking about with Jalen Williams. I was sitting here saying that they need to figure out some type of way to get him the ball on the offensive side, running through some type of actions. This is a real isolation shot creating team.
Mm-hmm.
And now when that gets shut down, what are we going to do? And that's one thing they had to figure out early. They haven't figured it out yet. And it's just like, we're going to see how it goes for the rest of the series.
What's tough is when you play the Pacers, you can't play isolation ball. The Knicks should be the blueprint for any team that's coming out. You cannot play isolation ball. The ball has to move. There has to be movement. There has to be actions. There has to be a clear-cut plan when you get into your half-court offense. You can't just immediately go into ISO because what happens is when you go into ISO, it's a lot of ball watching. It's a lot of standing around. When that happens, what happens on a missed shot? Pacers already down court. They like to push the pace. They like to get out and transition. They are the team that's going to run, especially when TJ McConnell comes into the game. TJ McConnell comes into the game, the pace goes up another level because Hallie is not running like TJ McConnell. TJ McConnell's going coast to coast, whether he has the ball or not. Full speed, reckless abandon. It also makes it tough on the Thunder's defense because when you can't get into a half-court defense, and then on top of that, when you can't play the passing lanes, because that's what the Thunder does. They get you into that half-court defense, and then they play a little off. They crowd on the shots. Excuse me, and they play the lanes. That's how they get their turnovers. That's how they come down the court, and that's how they get into their half-court offense. You can't do that against the Pacers. Against the Pacers, I'm not saying you're going to have to change how you play, but you're going to have to adapt how you play. You can't have the ball sticking. There has to be movements. Why isn't there wraparounds? You see that you could get into a pick and roll situation or a pick and pop with Chet. Why isn't Jalen Williams running actions around Shea?
Yeah.
Shea has the ball. Shea gets to decide, okay, what's going to happen? If Chet pops and I'm coming downhill and I got Jalen Williams coming over the back of me, Jalen Williams could be open for a three. Chet could be open for a three. Or the defense could open up because they're afraid of the three and you have an easier lane. Not only that, they're going to come late off of rotation and you're going to get your contact and you're going to be able to go to the line. There has to be a better way where you could facilitate your offense without having to play isolation ball. I think that with the advancements in the NBA, we should be going away from isolation ball. I'm not mad at isolation ball, but I feel like there should be specific circumstances where isolation ball should be prioritized, and majority of the game you should be running a viable offense to get your guys going, get these guys going downhill, or get these guys on the move to set up their shots, get them to get into a groove where when they set their feet, they're more confident that the shot is gonna land. There's none of that. And if the Knicks, and that's really what the Thunder should do. Watch the Knicks tape. Watch how many times they got into isolation ball and watch how many times they lost off of getting into isolation ball because the ball was sticking with Jalen Brunson and everybody is ball watching. There is no movement. Ball standing still. And what happens? Missed shot, boom. Now, whole bunch of transition points. Pacers lead the league in transition points, bro. There's a reason for that. You're not playing isolation ball against them.
Yeah. And I would like to agree with everything you say. And there's no
What?
but comment. It sounded like
Oh.
that. It sounded like that. I've been listening to myself as I said it. It sounded like that. I agree with all that you said. Because when we look on the flip side and we think about the Indiana Pacers, that team is literally the way the NBA is going to be moving toward. Because, like you said, there's a lot of pet actions. There's a point guard on that side of the team that's fine with giving the ball up. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're running actions that he knows he's going to get the ball back. Eventually, it's like they said with the Warriors when we said a 3-point team can't win. A 3-point team went ahead and win. But what was the philosophy for Steve Kerr when he first got to
the ball's off of Steph's hands? Because the ball is going to eventually come back to Steph.
The ball is going to eventually come back to the person who needs the ball in his hand. And the Warriors had won that first year with Steve Kerr at the helm.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? Go ahead and run some actions because eventually the ball's going to make it to who it's got to be, who is meant for. And guess what?
You got to trust your teammates, man.
You got to, but it's just about implementing certain actions that's just literally your pet actions to go to. They literally don't have any pet actions in this OKC offense that I really could sit there and like fall back on. They're just going to run screens to try to get a mismatch. And that's fine when you go into the end of the game. Like that's around the time. Like we think about isolation. It's like, all right, your best scorer versus the other team's best scorer. We see what goes on. But throughout the entire game, this is why you see Shea with his hands on his knees. Is because he's tired of running the whole offense himself.
Yep.
And let's get it. Yes, Jalen Williams takes some burden off of him. But at the end of the day, Jalen Williams is not an elite scorer like that.
Yeah, and
so guess
what?
For Indiana, that's a win anyway.
Yep.
Jalen Williams, go ahead and get 30 points. Shea don't got it because we know Shea is going to be more efficient. He's going to get to the line. He's going to get our guys in foul trouble. And that's one thing I want to give it to Indiana. Y'all been keeping them out of foul trouble, keeping yourselves out of foul trouble, keeping their hands out of the cookie jar.
Yep.
Forcing Shea to look stupid out there when he try to draw some of them fouls. We see it. We see it, Shea.
We see it.
I'm not saying you're the elite. You're an elite free throw merchant, but you are. But I'm not saying you're saying you're bad because I seen worse. Everybody has their moments. You know what I'm talking about. I've seen worse, but everybody has their moments. And it's just like really a big shout out to Indiana, bro. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're doing what we anticipated them to do for them to actually win this series.
Yeah.
Which is Halliburton, you got to really play throughout the entire game. You've got to make yourself felt out there, and you went ahead and did that last game. And look how the game turned out for you guys. In the fourth quarter, they had a
Yeah, I agree. And then on top of that, you have your star playing 42 minutes. He's not getting to the line. He got to the line he had 6 free throws. So he got to the line. Jalen Williams got to the line 11 times. There's no reason why Shea wasn't getting to the line 11 times and Jalen Williams was. They need more. They need more from their guys. I understand why Wallace is in the starting lineup. I wouldn't put him in the starting lineup. I would. It's tough because you got Wiggs on the bench. You got Joe too. I think.
Oh, we're gonna get into that. Yeah. This is something I was feeling. Go ahead. I'm waiting.
Yeah,
I'm waiting my turn.
Yeah. The Thunder is falling into the pattern that the Knicks got into with the Pacers. You get into these set rotations, and these rotations are not as good as they should be. You're not playing the guys that do very well with each other on the court, and then you're leaving your star out there way too long. First of all, although Shea didn't get into foul trouble, he only had 2 fouls. He had 6 turnovers. That's also from him forcing the subject and him not being willing to move off of being on ball. In order for you to be effective, sometimes it's okay to give the ball up and go to one of your favorite spots and come get the ball back. You know, he thrives in the mid range. Why isn't he, you know, giving a handoff to Chet at the top, at the top of the three in the perimeter, going to where he's most comfortable of going up for the shot, putting your back out, and getting the ball back from Chet. Yeah, boss. Getting the ball back from Chet. And then allowing Chet to decide if Chet wants to move down, you know, to the block or to stay right there on the three. Because now at that position, you can either draw a double team, you know, that's a set action. You know, we keep the main phrase that we keep bringing up is actions, getting your guys moving, getting your guys into plays. I don't think I mean, not from what I've seen in these past 3 games, I haven't seen in a go-to play. You know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't seen a play like you'll run in the first quarter and then you'll come back to in the fourth quarter. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen any plays where it's specifically designed to get somebody else involved into a play to get an easy bucket. I've seen Shea put his head down and try to get to the line. That's not effective. We like I don't understand how the Thunder, if you're watching tape, you know what I'm saying? You're watching tape. Before you come into the series, you're watching tape. I'm gonna watch the entire Eastern Conference tape up until they played the Knicks, right? And if you know that you got, because let's be honest, the Thunder is offensively kind of built the way that the Knicks are right now. Tight rotations, ball dominant point guard, guys who can shoot but need to be set up. In order to set your guys up, you know you could run plays, right? You know you could run. Look at the Warriors. Look at the Warriors. Guys who are not primary ball handlers other than Draymond and Steph. They get the ball, 2 dribbles, they already know where they're going with the ball. These are set plays. These are set actions. These are double screens to free up not Steph. You're watching Steph. I'm freeing up pods. You don't know that because you think the ball's coming back to Steph. That stuff could work for Shea. I think the ball's coming back to Shea. Jalen Williams is wide open. These are set plays that I think that the league is starting to move towards, and Indiana is currently spearheading. I think that the Warriors pioneered it. You know, they're the genesis of it. But the Pacers are this is what the NBA is going to look like in the next couple of years. Fast-paced, offensive minded, play calling.
Plays that just flow.
Yeah.
It's not just play calling. It's literally a philosophy and understanding of who's on the floor, what the team does best, and how do these people fit in there. Because, like you said, we even talk about the Warriors. Even to this day, Curry even talks about the puzzle. Like, how do we fit these pieces into the puzzle? Because he has a system. He has a guy who has proven he could do this. So now let's put the pieces around him that we've seen that was a success, adjusted a bit, because, you know, every year is still different.
Yep. Every year looks different.
Yeah, every year looks different, but we got to adjust it a bit, because even when we look at the Warriors, they were who they was, shooting threes, doing this, that, and the third, until the Boston Warriors, when they played Boston, is a different team. Because guess what? It was a lot more at the end of the game. Steph Curry running his pick and rolls with Draymond. More pick and roll heavy, because that's what it called for.
Yep.
And while I'm still sitting here thinking about it, and I didn't want to interrupt anything you were saying earlier, I think the OKC needs to look one series further down as the Cleveland series. We talk about a team that can be compared to each other.
Yeah.
And the lineups that they normally put out. Yep. And when we were talking about this, we were talking about in the Cleveland, Indiana series, where you're like, yeah, I was sitting here saying the Cavs shouldn't adjust to Indiana. They gotta force Indiana to adjust
to them. Mm-hmm.
And that we were talking about that it's too big lineup with Mobley and Josh Allen.
Yep.
Guess what? Starting this series, OKC adjusted to Indiana by not starting Hartenstein. When we talk about actions, Hartenstein is the passer of this team. He's what the Warriors Bogut. He's basically Bogut for this team.
He is
a guy who can pass, who could get people going without touching the ball. They can move around him, and he can make all the passes in the game.
And he does the dirty work,
but
he does the dirty work defensively.
Exactly, and the thing about it is once you go ahead and play those lineups, Indiana can't play all these small ball lineups. They have to play a guy like Toppin in there. We talk about how Miles Turner was a game changer coming into that fourth quarter. You gotta understand, if you got Hartenstein and Chet out there, they have to go ahead and put Toppin out there or somebody else out there, Brian out there with Miles Turner.
Yep.
And now you're running actions where Miles Turner is the guy who's guarding Chet in the corner. And now you actually have your actions going with Hartenstein. So when he does help, he's helping off of Chet.
Chet's wide open now.
Chet's wide open. This is what I was sitting here saying in the Cavs series, that the Cavs shouldn't adjust to Indiana as much as they expect, or as the world expects to. You need to force the other team to adjust to you.
Well, Cleveland kind of had to adjust at the beginning of the series, but
I understand that. But what I'm saying is, you gotta still. This is what got you here.
Yeah, you have to impose your will. You've imposed your will.
You've
imposed your will this entire season. These are the only 2 60-win teams. You've imposed your will the entire season. We're in the finals. This is the biggest series of y'all life. Mm-hmm. This is when you impose your will the most. That's why, I knew that where you was going with that, because there's no reason why Wallace should be starting over Hartenstein at all.
Yeah, exactly. I understand wanting to be faster, wanting to be able to switch some of these actions, but guess what? Just go out there and do it. You have a team who moves. The thing about it, Hartenstein might not be as mobile, but I've seen him play where he goes in. Because the one thing about OKC, they have a defensive philosophy where these guys are covering for each other without it being like, oh, this is what we're doing this game. This is what we're doing. No, they know what they're doing for each other.
Yep.
I've seen Hartenstein go ahead. He's one of the guys who poke the ball loose too at times. I've seen him get up high and poke the ball loose. Somebody turn it back. Hartenstein's the one going for it.
Yep.
I've seen it. So why is he out there giving you a different look? The thing about it, when he's out there too, they give a bit more offensive rebounds. That changes the game too. We've seen that happen. So that's what I'm just really trying to say. It's like, if you're going to go out there tonight and we sitting here saying this is one of the bigger games, I'd rather go out in my style than to go out trying to adjust to the other team and saying, we played our game and we lost. Now we just got to get better at our game, because we know where our game got us up to it. It's the championship finals.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's no reason why Hartenstein only played 18 minutes and Wallace played 24. I'm okay with him playing 18 minutes if he's starting and he's giving me starting quality 18 minutes and Wallace is coming in off of rotation.
You know, it's the thing, even if you do start him, you got to do it like you do Ginobili. It's not who starts, it's who finishes. Who gets the most minutes. Like, sometimes you start with certain guys, but you finish with him because you know he's bringing what you got to be brought.
I agree. And he wasn't in the game at the end of the game either, because in the fourth quarter, it was a lot of Wallace. It was a lot of Wiggs and Caruso. Yeah, Caruso had 32 minutes, and I'm not mad at Caruso playing that.
No. You want him to be out there.
Yeah, you want him to be out
there. Literally the Iguodala of this team. So it's just like, We want you to be out there, but at the end of the day, I want Hartenstein to go ahead and get some more minutes.
Yes. Yes.
Force that game plan than anything, and I'd rather lose like that.
Yeah.
Than not trying to adjust to anything.
Yeah, it was a tough loss for them. I mean, you look at the game in totality. I mean, it was going back and forth, but it was like almost like you knew something was gonna pop the way that the Pacers were playing ball. And come fourth quarter, I mean, they scored 32 points in the fourth quarter and held OKC to 18. That was the story of the game. Their fourth quarter was better than the other person's fourth quarter. Why? Because you guys went away from doing what you guys do best, especially in the fourth quarter. There was no wills imposed. There was no Hartenstein barely played in the fourth quarter. Again, I'm not mad at Caruso playing a lot of minutes, especially in the fourth quarter. He's very good at what he does defensively. He's like you just said, he's the Iguodala of this team. What did Iguodala do? He played tough nose defense. He had timely threes. That's basically what Caruso is. He had timely threes, plays really good defense. Who else could be out there with Hartenstein? Obviously, when Hartenstein and Chet are together, they're better together. It allows Chet to be a roamer. He could come down to the paint to help. He could stretch the floor.
Yep.
Hartenstein could shoot threes too. He hasn't, but he can. There's the threat of him. There's the threat of him shooting threes, but you don't want him out there to shoot threes because you got Chet. So what do? You instead of getting Chet in these actions, you're getting Hartenstein in these actions. It frees up Chet. Chet is supposed to be Chet is supposed to be your number 2, number 3, right? Because Jalen Williams is supposed to be number 2, number 3. It's 2A, 2A, 2B. Shea, Jalen, Chet. Those are your 3. What do you guys have to do to maximize those 3 when they're both on? When all 3 are on the floor, that trio is on the floor. You have to maximize the other 2.
Yeah,
they didn't do that in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's like also maximizing because at the end of the day, Chet had like 15 points this game. That's what you want from him. But the thing about it, he got all those points early in the game. And not saying Miles Turner shut him down in the fourth. Yes, fourth quarter, Miles Turner turned into a whole different beast. So yes, in the fourth quarter, he did his thing. But what about the other 2 quarters before that? We got to put that in a factor. Like, what were you doing in those other 2 quarters? We got to get more out of you throughout the game. And that's just what I'm saying. With a guy like Hartenstein in, who moves the ball, who could become like a hub for them in a way. And we know we've seen him actually do it at times where you get Hartenstein on a short roll, he get a nice little lob to Chet. We've seen that how that put up so much energy into that team. And this is what you need, energy on this team.
And this is why I was so upset when the Knicks let him walk. Because everything that he did well last year, especially in the playoffs, he brings a different fundamental. He allows guys like, he would have allowed a guy like Cat to be able to be the Chet of the Knicks. I hate that. I don't want to like truly compare, but I mean, that's basically what it is.
Yeah.
When you have a guy like Mitch in there, it allows Mitch to get a breather because Hartenstein is out there. Then when Hartenstein gets a breather, now you can bring Mitch in. Yeah. And that's exactly what they did last year. That's why I didn't really understand the Knicks let him walk, and I to bring it back to my team, but I mean it's true. I mean if you are gonna take a blueprint and look and do your tape and do your research, if you look at the Knicks and the way that the Knicks played the Pacers, you can tell that one team knew who they was and wasn't willing to compromise who they was or willing to change and adapt to you because we're going to make you play our brand of basketball. That's how teams win. When Cleveland lost against Golden State, is because they had to adjust to what the Warriors was doing. They had to adjust. And then and that's another thing because not a lot is talked about the impact that Draymond Green has on Steve Kerr's offense. The year that they lost against the Cavs, not having him for a full game, that throws off your entire mojo in a 7-game series. That one game is pivotal. Not having Draymond out there, because Draymond is the guy that gets guys into sets. He's the guy, he's ultimately the hands-on guy that gets Steph Curry going. Without Draymond, without Steph, without Draymond, there is no Steph. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no,
Without Draymond, there is no Steph. Draymond is the reason why Steph could be so free offensively. He's the reason why Clay would have wide open shots. He's the catalyst. And every team has to have that type of guy, the glue guy, to be that catalyst. There is a glue guy in OKC, and you have him coming off the bench and not even giving him the correct minutes with the correct lineups.
Yeah.
Because Chet could be going off. Chet 15 is cool. But 15 is cool if he got 15 in one quarter, and that was the fourth quarter. Not 15 in the first quarter, and then no points after that. There's no reason why you can't get your second, the third best player going, and down the stretch, it's finito.
Yeah, and then allow him to actually use his superpower, the ability to move around the court on defense.
Yep.
Like, we need to allow more of that, team. Like, what you do best is what you need to do best in the playoffs. Like,
okay, game 4 predictions. We're still in Indiana.
Game 4.
Indiana's up 2-1. I'll say this. I'll go first. Thunder hasn't had back-to-back losses in this postseason, but neither has Indiana. But going off of history, Thunder has game 4. There's only one problem with that. If the Thunder does not impose their will tonight, they will be down 3-1. If the pieces don't fit right schematically with bench and minutes and getting guys in their right fits together, they will be down 3-1. You have to come out here. You have to come out here aggressive. You have to come out here. I don't care. Foul. Shea had 2 fouls. Hey man, you got 5. Use them. You got 5. We say you got 5 fouls. We play until we got 5 fouls. Then that's when we ease up. You know what? I'm wilding. I ain't trying to get fouled out. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You got 5 fouls, man. There's no reason why you got 2 fouls going into the fourth quarter. Use them. Use them early. Slow them down. That's what the fouls are there for. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do something. But Lou Dort is the only one that has shown up, but he's only shown up on defense. And
he was there.
He was 4 for 8. He was 4 for 8. He was 4 for 8. But I mean, but you're not asking a lot from Lou Dort.
Exactly for what he does. He shoots threes. He's the 3 and D. He makes his shots. He goes 50% shooting threes. That's what you want out of him.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. But I need more from the other guys. I need more from the coaching, because I need Hartenstein to have more minutes. I need him in more sets with Chet, and that, like you were saying earlier, allows Chet to be the roamer, allows him to do everything else that he does well, just waiting, for the ball to come in, to him. Get the ball out of Shea's hand. Get the ball out of Shea's hand. Get Shea running downhill. That way he could do pop middies 15 feet from the rim. He could get to, he could get to the cup. He can shoot a step back 3. But you can't do that if he's bringing the ball down and it's immediately going into ISO ball. So a lot of stuff needs to happen. I need to see a lot of different things tonight. But most importantly, I need to see the Thunder impose their will and play their brand of basketball. Force Indiana to play your brand. That's what you did game 2. That's what you did for the first 3 quarters of game 1. What you haven't done in game 3.
Yeah. No, I wholeheartedly agree. The Thunder need to win this game.
Oh yeah,
They need to win this game. I don't care. I don't care what anybody says, how they feel about it. It's not going to be OKC in 7. It's fun to need to win this game. So tonight, I think the team's gonna have their back against the wall, and like you said, every time they lose, they come back, turn it around. I don't know what it is about this team. They take an L and they come back even stronger. So I think Shay's gonna come out here and give him a little 40-piece. You know what I mean?
Facts.
A little quick 40-piece. Something crazy.
What I like what Shay said was, this wasn't a loss; it was a lesson. And you need that type of mentality. You know what I'm saying? You're not losing that. You're not looking at it like, oh, dang, we lost. We should have did more. No, you're looking at it as a lesson. What can I learn from this game and take it into game 4? And I think that's why they are so good at not taking back-to-back losses. They take everything from that loss. All right, this didn't work. We need to do this. We need to be better in this area. We need to do that. Well, you can't just do it on back-to-backs because Indiana hasn't lost back-to-back either. So that means that you gotta get over that hump and win those 2. So to put the pressure back on Indiana
for the series,
yeah, because all the pressure's on OKC right now. There's no pressure on Indiana.
None.
They're thinking, hey, even if we lose tonight, we have the formula. We know we could come in game 5. We're good. We're in a good spot. We want to win tonight, but we're okay if we lose. You can't allow teams to be like that. You can't allow teams to dictate whether or not they're okay with losing. No, you gotta break spirits, man.
And tonight they need to give them a little quick 30-piece win.
Yeah,
they need something crazy.
It got to be decisive. You gotta send OKC to OKC. You gotta send Indiana to the bench early. Yeah, send them to the bench. 8 minutes left in the 4th quarter. This game's over. Cook them.
Not the bench. We don't even want the bench out there. We want the G League players out there.
Yeah. Send out what was it? The 12 players. You said that 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, yeah. So set out the guys at the end of the bench, man.
Yeah. So
yeah,
we got OKC. I got OKC tonight. Backs against the wall.
Backs against the walls. They haven't lost 2 yet, back to back. I don't see them breaking that mold right now. And they just gotta come out and post they will. I think they'll play a lot like game 2, but they gotta carry it over. You can't get. What's crazy? At times it feels like they're comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like when you know that you're the better team, when you know like at any given time you could just turn it on, you get kind of complacent. You get into that mode where it's like, all right, we'll turn it on eventually.
Quick,
yeah, but you can't do that against other good teams because other good teams, they feel the same way. And look, we're not turning it off just to turn it on. We're keeping the lights on. We won't pay the light bill here. You know what I mean? Like we won't pay the light bill.
We in Indy. They gotta pay this light bill.
Yeah, they gotta pay it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but man, shout out to Indy for doing what they had to do. Game 3 and back home. OKC, pressure's on you, baby.
Exactly. So
when's the next game? Let me check the next game.
Tonight. What do you mean?
No. Game 5.
Oh, you mean after? Oh, I was just saying, what do you mean? It's tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know. When is it?
I'm checking right now. Oh, Monday.
Oh, okay.
Monday, 8:30. Yeah. So if there will be a game 5. Regardless, there'll be a game 5. So we'll be back. We'll be back before game 5. It'll probably be less. It won't be a full episode. Like it'll be a little quick one, maybe like 15-20 minutes. Just give our opinions and stuff like that. It's a different action. Shout out to the Knicks, man. Shout out to my team.
Shout out to the Knicks.
Yeah, shout out to the Knicks, man. And I'm gonna tell you why. Oh no, this is not a good thing. This is me being sarcastic. This is sarcasm. Shout out to the Knicks for repeatedly asking guys to interview and getting shut down. Also, shout out to y'all for trying to rebound, and now all of a sudden y'all want Mark Jackson.
This is prom night dumpster babies.
Yeah, man.
Nobody wants them.
It's crazy.
It's unforeseen circumstances. But when you got an owner like that who's so sporadic, who knows what's gonna go?
It is what it is, man. It
So
is what
man,
it is.
y'all already know the vibes, man. Like, share, sub, all the above. Your boys are signing out. We going out on a high note. Not the Knicks. But we going on a high note. I'm smiling. He's smiling. We love y'all, man. Pull up on us on either Sunday or Monday. We'll pull up. We'll pop out. You know where we at.
Yeah, I'm back, straight facts, in my bag, straight facts, came to bring the hits, nigga, straight facts, straight, tryna hit the falls list,